What if I told you that the modern-day nation of Iran plays a key role in the Bible's grand story of prophecy and world events? Many people focus on Israel, Egypt, and Babylon when thinking about the Bible. But Iran, known as Persia in biblical times, is not just another empire. Persia was a nation specifically named in prophecy, and its destiny was tied to God's chosen people, Israel. From the family line of Noah to the reign of King Cyrus, the history of Persia is woven into some of the most important moments in the Bible. What's even more surprising is that God used Persia, a nation with kings who didn't even worship him, to free Israel, rebuild the temple, and fulfill prophecies made centuries earlier. In this video, we will explore Persia's incredible story, how the Bible reveals the origins of the Iranian people, their rise to power, and their central role in shaping not only the Old Testament, but also future prophetic visions. Buckle up, because this story will change the way you view Iran, not just as a modern nation, but as a key player in God's unfolding plan for the whole world. But before we begin, welcome to UG Media TV. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's dive in. To understand Iran's biblical roots, we have to start with Noah's family. After the Great Flood, Noah's three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, became the fathers of all the nations of the earth. One of Japheth's sons was Madai, whose descendants became the Medes, people who would later join with the Persians to form one of the greatest empires in history, the Medo-Persian Empire. These descendants, who lived in the region of modern-day Iran, played a critical role in the Bible from the very beginning of history. Fast forward several centuries, and we see Persia rise as a mighty kingdom. Under King Cyrus the Great, the Medes and Persians united to form the First Persian Empire. At its peak, this empire stretched across the world, from the Indus River to North Africa, covering places like Israel, Babylon, and Egypt. But what makes Persia truly special isn't just its military strength or vast territory. It's how God used Persia to fulfill his promises to Israel. After the Babylonians destroyed Jerusalem and took the Israelites into exile, they remained in captivity for 70 years, just as the prophet Jeremiah had predicted. Then came Cyrus, the Persian king who conquered Babylon in 539 BC, changing everything. Cyrus made a decree allowing the Israelites to return home and rebuild the temple in Jerusalem, as written in the book of Ezra. Shockingly, over a century before Cyrus was born, the prophet Isaiah named him as the one chosen by God to free Israel. Isaiah even called Cyrus God's anointed, a title usually reserved for Israel's kings. This was an incredible moment in history. God used a foreign king to fulfill his plan of redemption for his people. Persia became the tool through which God restored Israel and brought hope to his people once again. Have you heard of the story of Queen Esther? In the Persian Empire, during the reign of King Xerxes, a plot was formed to wipe out the Jewish people. However, God had already put a Jewish woman, Esther, in the palace as queen. Encouraged by her uncle Mordecai, Esther courageously revealed her identity to the king and begged for her people's lives. In the end, the evil plot was stopped, and the Jewish people were saved. Esther's story is celebrated every year during the Jewish festival of Purim, a reminder of how God used Persia to protect his people. Persia wasn't just a backdrop in the Bible's story, it played a direct and crucial role in shaping Israel's future, showing that God can use anyone, even kings who don't follow him, to fulfill his plans. As we look at the Bible's prophetic books like Daniel and Ezekiel, Persia continues to appear. Daniel, a Jewish prophet, had visions of world empires, including Persia. In Daniel chapter 7, Persia is symbolized by a powerful bear representing the strength of the Medo-Persian Empire. In Ezekiel chapters 38 and 39, Persia is mentioned as part of a future coalition of nations that will rise against Israel in the last days. These prophecies remind us that Persia, now Iran, continues to have spiritual significance even in events yet to come. Though the Persian Empire fell to Alexander the Great, its influence lived on, and it even appears in the New Testament. When the Magi, or wise men, came to visit baby Jesus, many scholars believe they were from Persia. These men, possibly priests from Persia's ancient religion, followed a star that led them to the newborn king of the Jews. showing that Persia's connection to the Bible endured. As we conclude this journey through Persia's role in the Bible, it's clear that Iran's influence in world history goes far beyond its modern borders. From freeing the Israelites to preserving the Jewish people, Persia has played a vital part in God's plan. And as we look ahead to the future, the Bible suggests that Iran will continue to be a key player in the events leading up to the fulfillment of God's promises. So, next time you think of Iran, remember, its story in the Bible is still unfolding.